It's
not even mildly entertaining, troll.
I know. You'd think they'd at least do better. Hey there, and Martin K are here. Do we know those people? They seem new to me.
No, I don't know them. You know.
Hey there, and Martin. Welcome to the Flat Earth channel.
What does that mean exactly? Flat Earth?
Really?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what flat means. Like, definitely, because like the beach is like a change in elevation from sea level, so that part's not flat. So I'm just wondering, like, overarching term, what do you mean?
Well, it means a flat horizontal topographical plane. Obviously, it doesn't mean flat in the absolute ideal sense, because these like ideal geometric forms don't actually exist. Like nothing is actually flat, nothing is actually spherical. There is no actual cube or any of these objects don't exist. We make things in the real world that approximate these forms, but they're not exactly identical. But for the purpose of just like human conversation and conception, we use them interchangeably as like analogous equal forms. But for the purpose of just like human conversation and conception, we use them interchangeably as like analogous equal forms.
I got you.
So like
So
we
the
say,
same, like,
my kitchen. So like your kitchen table's flat, right? But it's not actually flat. If you zoom in on it, then you'll see bumps and ridges, and if you look really close, it's probably got a slight warp in it.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So if you're saying if we like zoom out to the position of God and act like we're God, we'd say flat. Kind of similar to how like the sphere
No, you
Earthers
don't
are
gotta go
like
that
it's
far.
not an actual sphere, right? They're like it's not.
No, you don't have to go that far. Like basically, if you take the vertical axis versus the horizontal axis, the ratio of those is so large, the difference is that it's effectively flat for all practical purposes.
Well, in the area you check locally in reality, right? We can't make a claim to the entirety
Yeah, we
from
can.
just local measurements. Really,
Yeah, we
what?
can, because it's water.
That's not a fallacious reasoning. You don't think that you could just make a
No, because the
claim to
water,
the impact?
no, because phenomenologically connected water does the same thing at the surface.
Yeah, I agree. Like still water does, but I go fishing and I have a fishing spot in 85 feet of water, and depending on the tide, it'll be
Yeah,
around 81 or
okay.
88.
But that ratio is still maintained, and even if you had freaking tides 1 mile high, because the surface area of the Earth is at least in excess of 100 million miles as far as the water is concerned. That ratio of 100 million square miles versus some bump that's a mile high, that's a 150 it's 150 million to 1 ratio.
Okay, yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. And so, is the equator a circle still, or
There's no equator.
there's no equator?
So the equator would have certain phenomena that we observe to even determine where the equator is. Like, hey, I want to know where the equator is. Okay, how do I find it? How do you find the equator? Like, okay, we're going to go to the place where, like, what equator means, equality of day and night. So let's go find that place where day and night are equal. Well, that's nowhere on Earth. Nowhere on Earth is the day and nighttime length equal.
I gotcha. No, I agree. I thought some people define it as like a 0 degree latitude, meaning that Polaris disappears at the equator, kind of.
First of all, it doesn't. And in the globe model, it wouldn't. Because according to the globe model, refraction lifts it up over the horizon. So at the equator, you would still see Polaris. But
Okay.
that coordinate system is based upon what's called the celestial sphere, and the equator is in the sky. It's not on the ground. So this is like, speaking of fallacious reasoning, the system of latitude and longitude are not on the ground because you can't find latitude, longitude, equator, Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of fucking Cancer using just the ground. you would need to look in the sky to find all those things.
Yeah, that's where it seems to be the reification occurs. I see what you're saying. That was why my question was: is the equator a circle?
Well, in old books, like in books that they published in the 19th century, they would say you're under the equator. They wouldn't say you're on the equator. They would say you're under the Tropic of Capricorn. They wouldn't say you're on it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. And so, since they took it from the celestial sphere, they would have it mapped as a circle, but like it could be a straight line.
The coordinates. It's not like this is what it's a coordinate system. Okay, so a coordinate system is different than some territory, right? You can choose any arbitrary coordinate system, Cartesian, polar, dual polar. Like there's there's an infinite amount of coordinate systems, a literal infinite amount. You could choose choose a skewed grid where you're using diamonds. You could use frickin' spirals as your coordinates. You could use frickin' anything.
Yep, yeah, that makes sense. No, and that's what I was thinking. I thought the interesting part was like how we say, we use this geometry on Earth, right? And it's Euclidean. But then once they try to involve this coordinate system using the sky, it becomes non-Euclidean. Which is like, that's where their contradiction is. They do everything using Euclid's principles on the Earth, even though they're declaring that the surface is non-Euclidean. It's crazy.
Well, I would say that even the spherical geometry of things in the sky is pseudo-Euclidean. So they're using it Euclidean kind of, but to even use it that way, because they have to assume parallel rays, it becomes Euclidean as soon as you say, hey, we're using parallel rays of light. Now all the starlight and all the sunlight and the moonlight and all this light is hitting parallel. That can only be modeled in a Euclidean geometry, right? So you would take a slice and use a circle and rays that extend from the circle. You couldn't do that in any type of spherical geometry. It'd just be impossible. You couldn't, like, if you took a 3D model, like in some 3D graphics program, and tried to draw parallel fucking rays to the surface of a sphere, it's not possible.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's almost like a mixed system. So when they actually do like predictions of the sky, they just assume that you're at the center, right? That you're at the center of the origin of coordinates, and there's a big ball moving around you, but it's not even a full ball; it's half a ball. So, and then that's partially the truth, because you can't do observations above 30 degrees and pretty much above 20. So 20 degrees from zenith and 30 degrees above the horizon, you can't do any observations because you can't accurately measure the angles directly overhead because it's just hard, and at the horizon, because of, according to them, refraction displaces the objects. You can't do it there either. So like the measurements fall apart if you look in the sky in these areas. So technically, it's just like a ring, a donut in the sky where it actually appears to be natural, like some sort of spherical system. It's way more complicated than people think. It's not like the simplified shit they teach. It's not the way it actually is. Not in practice or in math.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So yeah, there's like a 30-degree discrepancy there that you're saying. I think they came to the conclusion non-Euclidean is because when you do like the 69 miles per degree, they get a number that makes pi equal 2, right, from 0 to 90. So that's 69
miles per degree. Where did that come from?
69 miles per degree. So what we do is we take an angle measurement to Polaris, and then we can just travel upon the Earth in a linear fashion, right? And go 69 miles, and it'll change 1 degree.
How do you know that?
I'm testing it, actually. I'm doing the test
right
myself. Now? No, not right this second, but I do plan on 69ing the globe, and I was wondering if you would want to join in.
69ing the globe?
Yeah, like what we'll do is we'll take angle measurement.
How come it always goes to degeneracy?
That's not.
I don't understand why. What do we Eiffel Tower?
Why
should
am I
That's
Eiffel
not
joining?
the
Tower it.
interesting. No, I'm
I
talking
joined
about
during
like the 69
homoerotica right
miles.
now. What's going on
No,
here?
I'm talking
No,
about 69
I
miles
want
per
an Eiffel
degree.
Tower. I want an Eiffel Tower.
No, I'm talking about 69 miles per degree. Let's test this fact.
I'm talking.
So-
I'm talking about two people on either side of it and fucking it from both sides.
I wasn't trying to get weird or anything. So yeah, if I
better try harder not to get weird because you're getting pretty weird there, sir.
okay, yeah, I mean it's an arbitrary stance weirdness, anyways. But yeah,
So,
so 69
why are you
miles per
claiming it's
degree.
a
If I
fact?
stay on the same
Yeah. Why are
longitude
you
and I
claiming it's
travel,
a fact before you did the test?
yeah. I'm not claiming it to be a fact, but it is the case that navigators have been using this for a long time.
So
So
what?
I would say that
They
it's a
don't even claim.
possibility that it does exist.
If you look in navigation, how accurate it is, typically they're off like 15 miles per day.
Yeah, they don't even claim it's perfectly accurate.
Only
Okay,
you guys
yeah.
do. Do you know why?
So,
You know
so
how
have
they
you ever
can't even
taken an
measure
angle
the
measurement to
accuracy?
Polaris?
Because the way it should. Yeah,
Have you
dude.
ever taken an angle measurement? Did it match your latitude?
That's circular logic.
I know.
Latitude is defined by the angle measurement.
Yeah,
I just told you
exactly.
that.
Okay, and is there
So
69 linear miles between you and one other
No,
degree?
I
No?
I don't
Okay,
know.
how do you know that?
How would I know?
You said no.
How would I know? Well, I have no evidence that
You
that's
could
the
go
case.
and test it. You're saying you
Yeah,
can't
so could
drive
you.
69 miles? Yeah, we all can. To do it together. So
Go
that
for
way
it.
we can learn and
I'm not
prove
doing
things
shit with
in
you.
reality.
Dude,
You
I'm
don't want
not
to
doing
learn and
shit with
prove
you.
things in reality?
No, I'm just not doing shit with you.
Why? Well, I don't understand. You don't have to do it with
'Cause
me.
you're a
I'm saying you
degenerate.
can do it with yourself. I'll do it over here by myself, and then all of us in the community can come together and verify this information. Are you saying we shouldn't be testing
You're not
things
in
in
any
reality?
community, dude. You're a fucking one-man army, bro.
A one-man
Oh,
army that wants to test
aren't
a
you one of the
claim?
Bevites? Are you in that community?
No, what?
Are you one
What
of
are
That's
you
these
what he
talking?
sounds
Bevites?
like. Yeah, he
Are you
totally
guys
sounds like
scared?
one
Are
of
you guys
them.
scared to do a measurement
Yeah,
in
so you're
reality?
gonna talk about me. I'm asking, are you one of these Bevites that
Are
like
you
you
scared to
don't
do
think
a
flat
measurement
exists?
in reality, Indio?
No,
What's the
no,
matter? Are you
no.
getting scared, my friend?
Why would I be scared?
I don't know. So why not test this actual claim in reality to find out if it is the case or not?
Because that is a reversal of the burden of proof, pinhead.
A reversal of the burden of proof.
Yes,
It's
it
not
isn't
an
for
art.
me to go
Nobody
and
made
go.
an argument.
It isn't for
Nobody's
me to
making
go.
an
It
argument.
isn't for me to go out and test everybody else's claims, dude. It's up to them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you don't want to know if it's 69 miles per degree or not.
Dude, I don't care because it wouldn't prove the Earth is
Okay,
flat
dude,
or
so
not.
you're done. You're
It
done. You
wouldn't
don't
prove
care.
the.
Why are you even
I'll tell
here
you.
telling people the
Well,
earth
you
is
let me.
flat? You don't want to go
Why
check
don't I
it.
care? Why don't I care?
Yeah, because
Because
you
it
don't want
wouldn't.
to tell. You don't want to check
Because
it.
it won't curve. Because it won't curve the surface.
What does that matter? It'll make pi
What do you
equal
mean? What
2
is
if
that?
it is
That is the
correct.
whole. That is the whole point. This
It
is a
doesn't
flat
matter.
Earth Discord. And if the surface is not curved, it's not a ball. And no
Okay, that's fine.
observation of the
Nobody
sky,
thinks it's a
and
ball,
no
dude.
observation of the sky can turn the Earth into a ball or make it
Nobody
flat.
thinks it's a ball, dude. No one thinks it's a ball. People, when they claim that it's a globe, they're saying like it's a blade, it's a spheroid. They're saying all different things. They're not saying it's a ball. Everyone knows what the water level
No,
does.
a sphere is a 2D surface only. It's a ball. They're claiming it's a ball.
Flat is a surface description only. You're,
Is a sphere a 2D surface? Yes or no?
yeah. Is it flat
Yeah.
a surface
Is it?
description? Yes or no? Is flat a surface
Yeah.
description? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So locally, when you check things out, it's flat locally. Now, can you make a claim to the whole from the parts, or is that
Yeah.
called a part of
We
the
already
whole
covered this.
fallacy?
Yeah. We already covered this.
Okay, so you can use fallacious reasoning in your
It's not
logic to
fallacious.
come to a conclusion.
Okay, I already did the logic, and you didn't point out any point in that logic that was
Yeah,
fallacious.
it's called a part of the whole fallacy.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
if you just measure one part of something, you can't make a claim to the entirety. And all
Okay,
you can do is measure
in this case,
locally in reality. And if you're going to
well,
take
it's not
measurements
a
out
part.
of
That's what you
reality,
don't
then I don't know
understand.
what you're
It's not a
doing.
part. It's not a part. It is
Okay, the ground you measured is not a part of the earth. Okay, got it.
the water.
The
I
water's
measure
not a
the
part of the
ocean,
earth.
right?
Okay.
If
Yeah.
I measure the ocean,
Yeah. How'd you
I
do that?
know
Go
that
ahead and give us the way you measured the ocean.
okay, I went to the beach, dude, and
Okay.
I observed a container ship sail from 6 miles out to 30 miles, never disappearing over any curvature or anything like that. Even though the
Okay. How did you
girls
verify
claim,
the 30 miles?
okay, radar.
With radar? You shot radar to the ship?
No, there's a radar. There's a radar station in Gloucester, Massachusetts that tracks the position of ships using radar.
Okay. So we have to trust that information. Oh, that's cool. I'm okay with trusting that information. So in your area, things take a long time to disappear into the horizon. Therefore, you can make a claim to the entirety of
No, it
the earth.
never disappeared into the horizon ever.
Okay, it never disappeared into the
No,
horizon. Therefore,
no,
that occurs everywhere, right? That's your claim.
no.
Okay.
No. Why are you
And
straw manning me? Why are you
why are you
straw
saying
manning
it's
me?
flat then
Why are you straw
everywhere if you
manning
only
me?
have because you have
Torah.
one local. You have
Why
one
are you straw
local.
manning me though?
Yeah. You don't have
Maybe,
any other observation. You have
but
one
that
local
water that the
observation.
ship is
That's a
on,
part of the
no,
whole fallacy.
it is no, it is a whole observation because that water, even though I can only see locally, that water is connected to the entire Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. And
Is it not?
yeah, I
So when I look
agree
out the
with you.
Atlantic
So are
Ocean,
you?
it's the same
Because,
Atlantic Ocean that's in South America.
okay, so if
So,
someone else sees
And
the boat
actually, just
disappear
because we
earlier
named it, the,
in another part of
it,
the world and
hold on,
they claim that
no.
it's a globe, isn't that fallacious?
Well, that's a fallacious claim because that
Yeah, just
observation
like your claim is
uh,
fallacious.
dude, you interrupt me one more time, you're gonna get muted. Okay? You ask me a question and then answer it. You guys do this all the time. That shit is not gonna fly. Okay, I'm telling you right now. If you ask me a question, you need to let me answer it. Okay? Someone saying ships over the horizon is the curvature of the Earth is fallacious in the first place because that assumes that it's impossible to make that type of observation on a flat surface. It's not. We've demonstrated it's not. We can demonstrate this is the way it also appears on a flat surface. Okay, so that inference that they've made is wrong. Okay, period. So though we call it the Atlantic Ocean, that water is connected worldwide. There's no break in it. So the Atlantic Ocean is connected to the Indian Ocean, which is connected to the Pacific Ocean, which is connected to the Southern Ocean, which is connected to the Arctic Ocean. They're all connected. It's only saying this is different by convention because we came up with different names. But it's the
I
same
got
thing. It's the
I got you.
same water. So because this water phenomenologically behaves uniformly at the surface, we can say the vertical compared to the horizontal, that the surface of the water is flat for all practical purposes.
Okay, yeah, no problem. That's definitely using inductive reasoning to make a confident claim, but you didn't reach 100% certainty or knowledge at this point because you didn't do anything
Yeah,
deductive.
yeah, and that's just a baseless assertion.
Okay, tell me that how you determined your argument is deductive and not inductive.
Okay, do you want the syllogism?
Sure.
Okay, syllogism goes like this: if A equals B equals C, A also equals C. So to place the A, B, and C, we use a laser, we use the surface of the water, and we use the term flat. So lasers travel in a straight line and are effectively flat, except they're in special cases. Okay, there's no observation of this special case.
There's no
Okay,
beam spread, you're saying.
there's beam divergence. So what? You can control that. So you
So
can
they're not
control that
flat.
variable. So you control that variable. No, it is fat because you rely on the centroid of the beam. The beam centroid. You know what that
Okay,
is?
what's the beam
You know
spread
where
and how long is the beam?
do you know what a beam centroid is? Because there's no point continuing further if you don't know how beam divergence actually works.
You win,
Which you
dude.
don't.
You won. You won,
Yeah, which
Indio.
you don't. You'd have no idea what a beam. I'm not
And you
trying to
have a
win. You
fallacious
don't know what
argument.
you're talking about. Nothing that. Yeah, you're just asserting the same thing that you just asked me to demonstrate, and I am, and you say you won, but it's still
Yeah,
fallacious.
you think a
Yeah.
laser is
What
flat,
if
dude?
it's not going to work? Lasers are flat.
Say it again.
Lasers are flat. The vertical, the vertical change of its direction, okay, which would
So there's parallel rays
in physics
coming
it would
from
be
the
called in physics it would be called the pointing vector. So the pointing vector of the laser does not change vertically. Okay.
Do you have any evidence of light
Horizontal
being
beam.
parallel?
Not good. What do you mean light beam? Parallel to the surface of the Earth?
Yeah, that's what your claim is at this point. You're saying light is traveling parallel when you shoot out the laser. There's no beam
I got evidence for
divergence.
that.
It's straight. So you could
No,
set two
you're
lasers up,
confused. You don't know
one
what beam
above the
divergence
other,
is.
and
You
they would
don't know what
never.
beam divergence is. What is beam divergence?
Yeah, when the beam comes out, it spreads. So you have beam
Okay.
spread.
So how do you stop that from happening?
I don't think you can at certain
Yeah, you can.
distances, like the
You
distances
use a
you're
column.
going.
You can use a collimator, and the
That
collimator
doesn't
will make.
correct. That doesn't correct it completely.
What do you mean
Culmination
completely?
errors cannot be removed fully.
Okay. It's just no, dude. You're just mixing and matching terms. Collimation errors happen in a theodolite. Collimation errors don't happen in a laser. Collimating a laser means having the beam come through a lens and come out parallel. Okay? So the laser come out parallel. So you can measure what the beam divergence is. And you can control it. So the beam divergence at some distance, like say I have the beam divergence and at 41 kilometers, it equals a 2-meter spread. But the curve of the Earth is supposed to be 127 meters. That spread does not change the result because the spread is 2 orders of magnitude smaller than the measurement. So there is no like measurement error, uncertainty, lack of precision. It doesn't matter because what the prediction is 2 orders of magnitude different than the measurement. Even if you say, hey, we're going to take the uppermost point of the beam divergence and see if that part, right? So you got to think of it like a triangle. So from the center of the laser to a point and it spreads out like a triangle, diverges, right? If you take the top point of this triangle, that top point is still 125 meters under where the fucking under the level of the eye.
Okay, so not flat.
And 80. Does flat exist?
Does flat exist? Yeah, there's things that's a surface description, or if you want to describe uncarbonated water, or if you wanted to describe paint, yeah, there's flat exists.
You are an utter fucking retard.
A quick
Oh, is that
question.
not true? What I just said is not true. Is that correct?
For some reason,
Yeah,
I thought, Torah, were you a flat earther before, and then you switched?
No.
I'm not taking any position. I'm not going to get trapped into what you guys were sold called a bad deal. It's not Batman versus Superman, Jets versus Giants, in my opinion. But if you'd like to hold that position, good luck. You'll be trapped forever.
Yeah,
He's a glossy earther. I got it because he says flat applies to paint. Yeah, there you go. He's a glossy earther. It's a new one.
Okay, so
It's always
flat
nice to
doesn't
have
apply
something
to paint?
new.
Flat doesn't apply to paint? Is that your argument?
You're
What
a
is it? What
joke.
is a glossy? What is a glossy earth?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if the
So we have
paint isn't
people in
flat,
here
it's
now that
glossy.
doesn't think flat applies to paint. This is what happens when you get stuck in this model. I'm sorry,
I
guys. You
think
are stuck
flat
in a
applies. Yeah, I
dichotomy,
think
Okay.
and
flat.
it's
Yeah,
rotting
flat
your
applies to
brain.
paint.
Flat
Yeah, I was
applies.
gonna say that too. Shoot, somebody beat me to it.
Flat applies to paint, but that's a word context fallacy. So congratulations.
The first definition I gave was surface description. Did you miss that?
Okay.
And then I
Yeah,
gave
but does
other
it
things. You
actually?
asked me if flat
Does it
exists in
exist?
reality. Yeah, it does. It exists in reality in these 3 ways, and I gave them to you.
So, if matter is made of discrete elements, how can it be flat unless those
How do you
discrete
know that?
elements are also flat?
How do you know that?
Well, I mean, you can determine that. Well, we could do the
You know what
photoelectric
matter is
effect.
made out of? Were
The
you there when it was
photoelectric,
all made?
the
So you're the
photo, the
creator?
photo.
Are you God
No,
again?
no, that's nothing to do with it. We can do the photoelectric effect and determine that everything's made of discrete matter.
Okay,
But
and that's reasonable. That's a deductive experiment. You're saying?
yeah, you shoot fucking light at a metal plate and particles fucking fly off of it.
Particles? What's your evidence for
Particles,
this?
that's right. Because they have a
Can you
ballistic.
see them?
Because they have. No, you don't need to see them. Not everything is known with sight, so it has a ballistic trajectory, and you can deflect them with a magnetic field. Okay.
Okay, so
And measure
atomic theory
so
confirmed.
it's not atomic theory. Well, I mean, you could call it atomic theory to a degree.
Okay, so
It's not
it's
really atomic
confirmed. It's
theory.
not a theory, right? It's confirmed. It's 100% the
No.
truth of the matter.
You get an experiment. Is what will happen. That the matter will come off in discrete particles, and it will have a set momentum, right? You can measure the momentum. You can measure the impact of the particle, and you can see
That every single time and from
area.
here and into the future, all the time, it'll be that way?
Oh, don't try to make the uniformitarianism argument, dude. It's fucking so gay, dude. You're just a sophist. I'm just muting you. Pathetic.
Indio.
Yeah, they
I
got
got
they
the
got
feeling.
this they got this new script. That's what this pie is too thing. Somebody said that yesterday too. They got a new script they're rolling in here.
Elderbear.
But yeah,
Pie is
somebody's
too.
it's an elderbear acolyte. Somebody's got a question for you, Indio.
Oh, what's up, bro?
It's okay. Yeah. I just wanted to ask: is he glober or concave?
I don't know what the hell he is.
I think he said he doesn't want to be trapped or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he already is, man. Until he figures out how to get out of that straitjacket, he's trapped.
Yeah, he sounds pretty trapped to me. He sounds pretty trapped.
Straight jacket. That was nice.
I mean, maybe he's a Houdini earther and he can get out. I don't know.
And bro, sorry for not knowing what is a level earther. I just heard it today, I think.
Dude, this is like a thing they've been doing for years now, right? They try to like water down or obfuscate or make a flat Earth appear ridiculous by coming out with like these iterations of like, it isn't flat Earth, it's true Earth. It isn't flat Earth, it's level Earth. It isn't flat Earth, it's horizontal Earth. It isn't
I get it.
You know, it's silly.
They want to introduce. So they want to introduce. Sorry for interrupting. So they want to introduce infinite options, so that they can water it down.
Yeah,
mostly level. Remember that one, Indio? Mostly level.
The mostly level.
Mostly okay. Sorry.
That was sheeple, right? The mostly level Earth.
Yeah, that was totally sheeple. Yeah, the most flat.
Why wasn't he the mostly flat?
I know he should have been the mostly flat, right? That would have been more consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have been the mostly flat. Yeah, that's what he should have been. In truth in advertising.